right, thanks for staying with us. And just like Nigeria, like we said earlier, South African workers are also pushing for a different minimum wage from that proposed by the government. Recently, more than 2,000 South African union members marched in Joburg in a nationwide protest against the 20 Rand an hour minimum wage.
Now, the wage is about $1.60 and is seen by new President Cyril Ramaphosa as an important step to tackle labor instability and wage inequality. Now, it was approved by the cabinet in November and meant to be introduced in May, but the satisfaction over the minimum wage bill could delay its implementation.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have African Affairs analyst Chuks Nwoko right here in the studio. Of course, he's a Nwoke. Nwoke means man. Okay. All right, so the Democratic Alliance led by Musi Maimani is saying, look, this whole blanket minimum wage is not what we want. Let each state determine which, the minimum wage, and 20 Rand is not the figure we're looking at.
I think that's what is going to delay the implementation of the minimum wage that's been on the table for close to 2 years, if not more than 2 years. They've had all the opportunity to discuss it. Implementation was supposed to start today. They are polarized on the advantages and disadvantages. But the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, way back 2 years ago, and as deputy president, has always said that there was need for review of minimum wage in South Africa. And they have gone very far with the legislation and all the things that needs to happen and all that. So they need to, the workers themselves need to agree. The media also needs to agree. They are more than polarized than we are in Nigeria.
And that could be counterproductive.
And that is already, it's not going to be counterproductive, it's already counterproductive because what is supposed to begin today, they still have issues that are standing and you have everybody singing different tune and all that. 3,500 rands, as far as a lot of the people are concerned, it's a leap forward. But it's a disgrace that $1.60 is what people are going to be earning per hour, where people are earning $22 per hour in other spheres in the same world that we live in. So I think that they need to move forward. The argument, the president had asked them in the last 2 years to everybody chip in, let the argument and the debate start so that by today, implementation will start. So
well, it's quite interesting you're saying it being in Nigeria, really, because if you want to compare that to what is in Nigeria, in fact,
they are interested not just in minimum wage increment. They are interested in closing the gap, the inequality gap. Ours is just about wage increment, wage increment. They have specific goals and objectives. Absolutely. They think that you can create jobs. Others think otherwise. But I'm interested in the fact that they are addressing three major issues: closing the inequality gap, minimizing poverty, and creating a job. I don't know how that is going to create a job, but that is their target. Here, we're just basically talking about minimum wage. Without, I don't want to, for me, it's sickening that a people in a place where, in a society where people are supposed to come first, you're discussing 60-something thousand naira. Now, I don't mind 60-something thousand naira as a minimum wage in a place, but government should have provided for the people first. That's why in other climes, even though they don't have money, civil servants pride themselves, look, I'm a civil servant in this country. They're proud.
Well, I used to hear my father say that. I'm a civil servant.
You know what? They have access to all kinds of amenities. The children go to school, they have transportation, the infrastructures were there, you have light and all that. That is what obtains elsewhere.
Would you say it's because that the unions in South Africa are very strong? And
yes,
quite,
they are very strong. And don't forget that the obligation is actually on this president to implement this because this is what he's done all his life.
I even monitored it in November.
Absolutely. This is what he's done, negotiation, wage increment, protest and what have you. So the problem, the unique thing about South Africa is that they have a major setback in job and inequality and salary inequality. So if they can bridge that, because since 24 years when ANC became a leading government,
political party,
the structures of apartheid, they just occupied it. They didn't amend it. They didn't change it. So they need to work hard to bridge that gap.
So how can you bridge that gap when it's only a third of the population, of the working population, that will get this wage increase, which
it's a good place. It's a good place to start from.
But they are saying what happens to the remaining 10 million, not represented?
They need to start from somewhere, dealing with what they are. Let them deal with this, and then begin to create jobs. Because the original issue, the problem that they have
is unemployment.
It's unemployment. And I have listened to the argument made by some people that, oh, this will lead to job creation and all that. I don't know how that is going to be possible, how increment in salary will lead to job creation. How about if your employer is not able to pay you the agreed minimum wage? It will lead to sack of people.
Having a template for the minimum wage at least will structure the system. That is the argument.
I believe that what they need to do is implement this because they have a target. I like setting targets. I like setting goals. The goals is to close that gap that has always existed since 1954 or thereabout, where there is blacks are not allowed in urban centers to go seek for job, where they are, pushed to some suburb, where there's a gap everywhere. ANC hasn't done anything about it since 1994 when they came to power. What did they do? The same structures of apartheid that was created, ANC just came to power and sat on it. So this minimum wage is important.
There's still a clear divide.
Absolutely. To bridge the gap.
And the metal workers are saying we're not going to back down until government gives us the 12,000 rand
500 rand
that the Marikana victims actually asked for. How realistic is that?
It's not viable. It's
not
possible.
Okay.
You want to finally destroy the country.
Okay, Chuks Nwoko, African Affairs Analyst, thank you very much for your analysis.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, and happy May Day to you. Enough time to look at the papers again. Vanguard,
yes.
Trump to Buhari, protect Nigerians against spate of killings.
All right, the Nation newspaper, Buhari trumped at White House. Killings must end. Of course, that's the story at the front page of the Nation.
And the Daily Sun, impeachment motion, more trouble for Edo senator. And Benue government sues Miyetti Allah.
And the New Telegraph, Trump to Buhari, stop killings in Nigeria. I was looking for the story up here. NLC insists on September deadline for 66,500 naira minimum wage, vows to fight for better working conditions.
And finally, from the Punch, oil price rises above $75 per barrel. Is that something to cheer about or what? Okay, that's a wrap on the show this May Day, the first day of May. All right, you're permitted to be a good Nigerian. That's what May means. I am Ngozi Alebu. Enjoy the rest of the work-free day. Yeah, it's a work-free day.
Enjoy your day as well. I am Azizat Olaoluwa. And for those going out to march, of course, representing all Nigerian workers, a happy May Day celebration to everyone. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.